Okay, so I said the Jags have an unknown rookie that is going to make this team. So he better actually be unknown. And if you're a big fan of this team and you follow undrafted free agents and you follow all that kind of stuff, then you're going to know this name, but if you don't, I want you to pay attention. Even if you do, I want you to hear what we're going to have to say about him. And that's what we do on this channel. We try and bring out the stories because the national media doesn't talk about the Jags enough. And we want to bring out stories on teams that not where the teams don't get talked about by the national media, but especially the smaller stories. And I feel like the Jags are one of those undercovered teams. So here's what we're looking at. We're looking at a guy by the name of Caleb Hayes. He's out of BYU and he is making a strong impression, like strong in the Jags camp at the nickel position. All right. So we know that finding a slot cornerback was a top priority for the Jags. They waited till day 3. They added a handful of players, but so often, more than not, bringing in a UDFA is almost as good, especially in the defensive backfield, as a late round pick. And as you're going to see with Hayes here, he has the athleticism and traits that are absolutely ideal for the position. I just think a lot of people didn't know about him. He started his career at Oregon State. He played there until the COVID season, and he transferred over to BYU. He played as a freshman all the way through his final season, and he did a lot. And here's some of the things you're going to see. All right. And I'm going to talk about this, but he has just a ridiculous athletic upside. He's 5'11, 194 pounds. So he absolutely has the size, almost perfect size to play in that nickel, to be honest with you. He ran a 4.31 40. A 4.31 40. He had a 40-inch vertical. He had 17 reps on the bench press in his pro day. And it says here, if Hayes can continue to build on what has been an impressive early camp, he's recorded multiple interceptions during 11-on-11 drills, according to Eugene Fournette of the Florida Times-Union. He'll be hard to keep out of the defensive rotation. Did you hear that? It wasn't he'll be hard to keep off the team. I just ran into the table here. It says he will be hard to keep out of the defensive rotation. Now, as you may or may not know, if you're newer to this channel or not, we started this because we love the NFL. We're Lions fans first. We've had guys in this position where it's like, oh man, our secondary is not that great. And then we go the UDFA route and it's turned into 2 starters. It has. Jerry Jacobs is going to be an outside starting corner for us. This is year 3. He spent the back half of last year after he recovered from a torn ACL as a starter for us. He's going into this year starting. He was an undrafted free agent. He had nowhere near the physical attributes that Hayes brings. Not even close. It's unbelievable what he is doing. All right. If we're looking at other things, like we may as well just keep sharing stuff. This is talking about the athletic profile. All right. It says he was a starter for the past 2 seasons and one of the top cornerbacks in the program. He had 19 pass breakups and 67 tackles during his 2 years at BYU. And he's fast. His pro day was unbelievable. The question I have about Hayes is not is not whether or not he'll make this team or whether or not he can play corner. The question I have is, how in the world was he undrafted? How many guys are out there who have 10 pass breakups a year, who run a 4.3, who have a 40-inch vertical? Are you kidding me? Who have ample size, who have good strength, 17 reps for a corner at that weight? Why is this guy not drafted? And then the one thing he didn't do well, you can make the argument, well, he didn't get turnovers. In fact, in his college career, he doesn't have 1 interception based on the stats that I'm seeing. He doesn't get turnovers. So maybe that's why. Well, let me tell you something on that one. He's already had multiple interceptions in camp. So if he has added that to his game, the ball skills and the ability to get turnovers, then all of a sudden you need to realize, like, maybe this is a dude that's going to make this team. Maybe this is a dude that all of a sudden he just gets more and more playing time, more and more people start talking about him, and all of a sudden you're sitting here and it's almost the start of the regular season. You're like, is this guy our starting nickel? Like, I'm just going to put it out there. AJ Parker, Detroit Lions. I talked to you about Jerry Jacobs already. We had a horrible secondary going into the first year of the Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell era. AJ Parker, all of a sudden it's like, I think he might be the starting nickel. And we're all like, what are you talking about? And he was. But Caleb Hayes, if he has the correct coaching, he has something that most undrafted free agents don't have, and that is elite athleticism. Elite measurables, I think, is the better way to say it. Now, here's what he has to work on. He has to work on what his quick twitch and burst looks like in short spaces. All right. That's part of the reason why nickel works okay, because he can move on from thing to thing. And like, I get that. And maybe he doesn't need as quick of a burst, depending on who he's guarding. But that is where he is going to struggle maybe just a little bit. But even that, I'm telling you right now, and I'm going to share this with you because you know I'm a Raz guy. 9.89. He is the 24th ranked cornerback to ever. It's almost speechless to me. Like, to me, this is such a done deal. This is such a no-brainer that it's just hilarious. And even when you talk about his speed and space, they're not in space, but in the quick twitch type stuff, what you're looking at on that, you're looking at the shuttle, you're looking at the 3-cone. What do they look like in a tiny area? He still had a good composite grade. It's unbelievable to me. This is remarkable. I don't know how they found this guy, and I think that this is a guy that's going to make the team. I think he's going to be on the team for a while to come, and I want you to prove me wrong. So he's producing. Let's just review here for a second. He's producing on the field in camp. He's getting run with the second and sometimes even first team. Okay. He has the athletic ability. He has pure speed. He might be the fastest guy on the defense already. He has the strength when we're looking at the bench press. He has the vertical to, okay, well, he's 5'11". He's not super tall. First off, that's not bad for a corner. Two, he has a 40-inch vertical. There you go. It's in the 94th percentile of corners that were tested. All right. He has a broad jaw. He's got whatever you need. Why is this guy not making the team? What am I missing? Because now he's producing. So congratulations, Jags. You got something. And I hope that you're excited to see what he can become in the future. Caleb Hayes is a dude that will make this roster. If he doesn't, you can laugh at me, but you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Hit a comment below. Subscribe. Get in here. I love talking Jags. There's a few teams on this channel that I really want to make it, and the Jags are one of them because I love watching Jacksonville play football. I just do. So keep watching, keep supporting, and we'll see you on the next Jags video.